Hello and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. Now, as you can see, I'm traveling around a little bit. Now, the reason why for this is because of, you're lagging like hell for some reason. I do not know why. What's down here? Bunch of lava. Looks to be a mine shaft almost. I'm getting distracted. Ignore that. Intro, I'm traveling around here trying to go back to the Pale Oak Forest. I've been struggling with certain build options that I have available to me, as at the moment I've been going back and forth on some ideas, and one of the few things I need to be able to have is a bunch of resin so I can make a bunch of creaking hearts for certain builds. This is fine, it's not hard. It's just overall I've been trying to figure out the creaking mechanics and trying to figure out how to be able to get this build set in stone. Well, these builds set in stone, and things are working out and then falling apart even further as I realize how big this farm has to be able to be fairly productive, but also make it to where the creaking cannot spawn someplace else. So in doing so, I not only have to have the materials to be able to build said area, but I've also got to have an actual build set up. Now, I've been working on a build for about a day now, and it's falling apart. I cannot seem to figure this thing out to save my life. So I figured, since I'm here anyways, I have a lot of stuff to do, a lot of materials need to be gathered, one of which is Pale Oak anyways. I can't do any of this without a creaking heart start. So I figured, why not just demolish the Pale Oak Forest that I have over here, when I know I need to do that anyways. Which would be just around over here. If I do get over this hillside. The Pale Oak Forest I have explored a little bit of. The problem is I didn't really take down many logs. I got in, got out, because I was pretty sure I was very vulnerable because of being a little bit of squishy. A little squishy, and well, currently I now have better armor. I even checked around in the creative world and I can't seem to actually find a creaking heart. Now that's not exactly problem, I can always find someplace else, but it's a lot of wood I need to gather here, so I'm gonna just quickly set my, what was that, what, how did you jittered, okay, I'm just going to set my spawn here, and I'm gonna take down the forest. Well, I got finished taking out the entire forest, and there's a little bit of an explanation for the reason why even in the creative world, I couldn't find any creaking hearts, or a creaking to spawn. There was only one freaking heart in the entire forest, and it was too high to spawn one. Yeah. Well, now that I have at least a creaking heart, let me put this here, I'll grab this later, I can actually take a bunch of Pale Oak, and bring that home with me, because this is too much to really be needing at once. So, this was a lot of wood and my axe is burnt. I'm gonna have to repair when I get home. That's gonna be its own unique fiasco. I'm gonna have to make sure I get all this set though. So I'm gonna quickly pop back over, get things repaired, and we can actually move back over to Copper City to try to actually get some building, or depending if I want to set up this resin farm now, I will actively jump towards building it in a appropriate area. I haven't decided, but we will quickly take a look at that in a moment. But until then, right now I've been going through all this, and to be honest, this is one of the saddest Pale Gardens I've ever seen. So I really don't know what to expect from one at this point, or what to build here. I want to mess with the terrain and create a custom forest of this eventually. That's its own unique issue, as this does eventually gravitate over to being a very gray-toned area, which I kind of like. But that's all I can actually say about the area for now. Let's cut over to the next build area. Okay, so there's been a bunch of stuff that's been done of late, as I've been slowly but surely trying to get everything set up to be able to continue recording, and I've encountered a bunch of issues. Always issues. So, with a quick recap, hopefully this doesn't drop in frame and render too much. And those problems, OBS updated it, wanted to break every which way it went. I've slowly been waxing all of these down into this actual coloration because that's what I desire. Now, I haven't really done too much overall, but as it stands, I've gotten a functioning honeycomb farm. Now, I haven't really been working on design for this too much, but I had learned apparently, which I can't see there, I forgot, if I quickly, wrong button, here we go. You can see hoppers connected directly down from the beehives. Apparently that can actually collect the honeycombs, and all I need is honeycombs, so there's that. And I feel like I'm losing. How's my FPS? Really? Okay, if I go into video, I can go down here to extras, right? Show FPS. Apply. Done. As it stands, I seem to be dropping a few with you guys coming out. Okay. It's the constant redstone triggering. Okay, I'm gonna have to move the farm anyways eventually, but that'll do for now. I just follow here. Ew. Okay, so what else is triggering this? Yeah, probably these cave systems. I'm gonna have so much work ahead of me. Okay, ignoring that detail, the copper golems over here are almost completely aged down, so I can actually start using them for building purposes. As you can see here, even for some reason, the chest himself been taking a long time, only 2 started oxidizing. So, this entire farm, this entire ordeal was done for resin, because I want to be able to build with resin blocks. I want to be able to use the pale heart, or whatever with the quickening heart. I need to find a proper location for it. Now, what I was thinking, at least temporarily, I'm going to have to build it up a bit, but I have a large flat area of land here I can build it with. I'll be building it up roughly 8-10 blocks off the ground, and then we can actually have everything else set up. For that, we need a bunch of carpet, we need the creaking heart, we need pale oak, a piston, an observer, some redstone dust, and then hoppers to collect. Okay. Beyond that, we will need a chamber, which we can actually create and use to be able to trap them down and proceed to beat the living hell out of. Gonna beat them. As for some reason you have to do that to be able to actually do it. I found out they're supernaturally I think I talked about this a little bit earlier, but they're supernaturally durable. I don't understand how something made of wood can have immunity to fire. Like, I was doing testing campfires, lighting them on fire didn't work. Let's see, we're gonna need a bunch of glass just for ease here. Put this here. We don't have too much of anything here to actually build with when it comes down to just transparent blocks. For those who don't know, the reason why I'm wanting to use glass so I can see them to make sure it's actually working correctly. Otherwise, I think that's enough glass. Anyways, otherwise we do have to have buckets of water, we need pistons, we need, a sticky piston actually. That's gonna be interesting. If we do it fast enough with moving the pale oak, we can actually break the block itself and call it good. I mean, not break the block. The resin will attach to the side, but if it's not connected to a block, it will proceed to break and fall down. So in doing so, using this entire system, it will detect one specific piece of resin. It'll then proceed to break it and just keep collecting a bunch of resin. It's not too fast, not too slow, but here we are. I do feel that I am lagging a lot. Still, seriously, why am I lagging? I haven't done anything here. Lag. I can see my frames dropping drastically. Huh. OBS is registering almost 60% of my CPU usage. That could be doing it. Oh well, I'll have to check that out later. Until then, here we are, getting back here. So I'll collect everything, get started on that build, and you'll see it as it's being built. Okay, so I've got everything I need thus far, as I believe I do. I will place down my ender chest right here, strictly because of the fact that I want to keep this safe. Now what I need is a bunch of hoppers, which I can actually get by crafting real quick. Let's see, that's 2. Alright. Make a bunch of them. Call that good. Make a bunch of them. That's what I need. A bunch of them. Okay. I think that's enough. Places down here. So, I've decided on going a little bit higher than what I originally estimated, just for pure safety reasons, because I do not currently wish for anything to go wrong. As it stands, any other extra apples I have here will be useful things, but as it stands, there's a bunch of complicated things to take in consideration. First off, I need to get to the centralmost point of where this actual farm is going to be. So for that, I need to go... Let's see, can I... No, I'm going to have to... Okay, I don't understand. Either way, let's see. We're going to place you here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have our 5th, which we're going to mark up here. So, I'm going off of what I designed myself. 2, 3, 4. We go out 4 in all directions. Is this efficient? Probably not. Is it going to work? As far as I know of. This worked in a test world, and that is good enough for me. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we just have to come out here and fill this in. This is fine, so I have so much glass on hand. The reason why I'm doing glass is because I want to see it. I want to see everything at work. So, with this platform being laid in, what this will be used for is the watered area. I have extra wood still down there with my ender chest, as everybody can see. And that is probably later set for need. I love to keep extra wood on hand. It's just the way I have things set up at the moment without having to have, sadly, any shulker boxes. I don't intend on going into the end anytime soon, though I probably should. Why is it whenever I am recording, you guys show up eventually? I missed. I'm gonna have to go down there. Bastards. Why can't they hit anything today? I mean, I haven't encountered anything to fight today. I know, I've been just trying to get resources set. And I'm just going to ignore everything there just to work on this. So, what I want to do is I'm going to take the central point and we're going to increase this up by 3. From the central point, we're going to have 3 blocks up, and then we're going to proceed to have, let's see, you, then you. Now, for all purposes here, we're going to break you, just because I don't want this to spawn just yet. This is the central point. We need to get things set up first. So, now we're going to go over here and raise this up a few blocks because of how high this needs to be. Now the entire purpose of this farm, of course, is building purposes, but the way this is supposed to function, at least it's the way it tested, Like I said, I've learned a lot about creaking, well, the creakings, but it's really confusing. First off, they don't seem to spawn in water, they can't spawn on carpet, but yet they can spawn on almost everything else. Buttons don't really matter, it seems, at least my testing. I'm gonna go up 4, just so it doesn't actually have any issues. But as I was saying, they seem to just not care at all about anything else. Like, if you go into the fact of the creaking existing, it proceeds to just not care about what it can spawn on. Like this for now, just for my own ease, getting up and down, but it doesn't care. It doesn't care at all. It's really weird to me, and I don't understand it. Another thing that I've discovered is for some reason it refuses to spawn, at least for me, for this janky machine unless I have a wide enough area like this. Now for that, that also means I have to wall it off, which I don't mind doing, it's just annoying. Still, there's been a bunch of weird things, and its implementation on its own is a little problematic for me, because I haven't ever dealt with a mob like this. It is a mob made out of solid wood, and yet it's not vulnerable to fire. I'm confused. If anybody can explain that in the comments, please do. I am so confused. But yes, this chamber here, and because I know I've forgotten something, I am going to have to go back down there for. Yay. So enthusiastic about that one. But, continuing. This is a very simple farm. I forgot to get a fence post. Fence. I need sticks. I got sticks. I need wood. You see, this should be enough for one at least. Going off of memory. There we go. I love working on these little janky farms because it shows exactly how problematic this game can be sometimes when trying to get basic things to work. It is a mystery on how this is going to function, and I am not sure if it is even going to work completely in this world. Why are you doing that? Yeah. I'm so confused, and if this is not close enough, I'll just bridge. Okay, Ow. Okay, I need you here. I hate this. I hate this sometimes. What? It'll fix itself. Collect this. I need this. Okay. This is pretty much done, to be honest. We just need a chamber to hold ourselves, which, to be fair, is fine. It's not fine is how I have to go back down for this. But yes, this is practically done. To be honest, I just need this here. And this section is done as soon as I extend it out a little bit more. But I don't understand the creaking. This is my point. I don't understand the creaking, and it's not that I don't want to understand the creaking. It's the fact that the creaking is confusing. But yeah, I was testing this farm out, and I know there's a bunch of people who could actually give working farms, which, yes, I understand. I am not the most Minecraft Redstone savvy, but inevitably, I do feel I should try it on my own at least, and it seemed to have worked. I say that in the most loose way I can. But I keep forgetting things, and it's really annoying. No problem. Either way, let's see. So, with the farm explained, pretty much, this is the chamber supposed to collect everything. I'll show what the finished product is, because I would like to at least have a build in this episode. Okay, and with this, the sun is going down. Now, as the sun's going down, I will finish explaining the entire farm. This is the chamber that will be used to collect all the resin. Now we can see the heart's active. Now, whenever it detects that a bit of resin has grown here, specifically, it'll actually trigger the entire system that causes to push and pull back the bit of pale oak real quickly. Now, as we can see, one just spawned right there. It can't spawn anywhere else, and sadly this only works at nighttime, because that's the way the freaking mob works. You're annoying in that instance, but I appreciate having a little diversity, to be honest. But we collect it all through here, and it should end up here. Now, if I do this, he comes up closer, you stopped, and then we just keep hitting him. And in a moment, right there, we should have a minimum of 3 pieces. Well, a maximum of 3 pieces. Right? Go down a bit more. 2. It can vary a lot, and we don't even have to have a sword used for this. So, I can just keep punching him specifically while this is actively going about, and I'm good. It's a little bit of an AFK session. But with this, we should be able to get all the creaking hearts we need for building purposes, because I want to use it for cosmetics. I love that entire almost ripped wood texture. It looks really nice, but this is the entire farm. As it can be seen, it is nighttime at the moment, so at any point in this video, you can take a screenshot of everything if you want to be able to use this one. Otherwise, there's much more efficient farms, I imagine. So, I'm going to finish collecting the last few bits of blocks I need to be able to actually build, and then we will be good. But inevitably, it seems this mob doesn't spawn in water. Lava doesn't affect it. It doesn't spawn in lava either, mind you. Fire, it's immune to, because it requires a player to hit. Yes, annoying. Yes, annoying to make sure my carpet hasn't broken. Okay, I was a little worried here. Right here specifically, and here. I put an extra block here just to be safe, but I was hoping you wouldn't break. So yeah, we will collect as much as we can throughout the night, and that'll be that. So, see you then, and as I'll be actively cutting to a time lapse.
technology has been moving in a way that nothing else people have ever known.
Okay, so as stated, here is all of my builds thus far. Now, I don't know what a lot of these are going to be for exactly as I continue to build them with different ideas, but for these ones specifically, I have a apartment building, I have a library, and then I have a flower shop. It's a corner shop. Now there's no flowers inside. I need to get flowers for that, but inevitably I'm pretty much done with this. I lit these up because they need to be lit. They need to age down a little bit. A lot of this needs to age down, sadly. I want to use the aged copper, and I don't have enough of the aged copper. But while we're here, the interiors are not going to be done just yet. I'm still working on that, and I'm thinking about doing that on a stream, which I haven't decided when that's going to happen. I've got enough buildings now over here that I can just say, oh, I'm going to do this for a stream, and it's going to be like an entire day affair. And it would be an entire day affair. So inevitably that is something for me to think about and for me to plan ahead, which will take some time, but who knows when this will happen. I might have a lot more done. I need to work on the streets. That's the thing. I need to work on the streets here, and I need to expand this out a bit more as it's supposed to be a sidewalk and it's not completed. But that, I'm afraid, is going to happen in a different episode while things are done, because I ran out of builds. I know I did a lot of building this episode, but I just had a lot in mind that I wanted to actually do, and that's fine. It's one of the big build episodes. And in here we finally had some of the copper golems finally start to stop moving. We've got only, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, let me see, that's 4, 5, it's like 6 left. That's really good, because as soon as that happens, I can actually start working on street lamps. And I love the street lamps I have, and I would love to see them inside of this actual build completed and actually planted down, because they fit so well with the aesthetic that I have. And just walking through this right now, even though it is not done, I can see over through here, there's no one done here. I haven't done anything with this, or anything all the way over there, but just walking through gives a sense of scale, and it just amazes me, the entire fact of how all this is going along, truthfully. Now, my original build, which I see that's messed up enough to be like that, I'll fix you in a moment, but as building, I swapped some things out, like swapped that out for a much brighter red, as the entire red nether brick. I love the entire contrast it gave with it. Now, I originally had the regular nether brick, but it seemed a little bit too dark at the time period, so I decided, you know what, swap it out. That's the fun thing here. Now, this is with these builds specifically, finishing up this as well. These builds have been with Axiom in mind and actively being used, and I have fallen in love with the sheer creativity side of Axiom. Now, I understand this really gets built in a map, but I'm not after a map builder, I'm after building. Just myself. Just building my world. My biggest issue when it comes down with trying to have an episode... Where? Did I go to why because I'm talking? I don't know. But as I was saying, the issue I have with builds at the moment have been strictly trying to get them built. Trying to get them slated in. And trying to get them built isn't a little bit of an issue I've had before. and have, and probably will continue having as I proceed to progress forward. But Axion's made it a little bit easier as I'm able to dissect certain segments. I can actually duplicate them other places, and I can proceed to get a feel for how they're supposed to be like this. This physically would not be easily done in Minecraft at base, but in doing so I'm able to, with Axiom, take these segments of builds and actually take them, move them away, and in doing so fiddle with them and maybe copy certain segments. Like I want to duplicate this section for a different build, I can actually take it there and proceed to move it over someplace else as a quick copy. And I just love that little aspect of what this mod does. I'm not using Lightmatica, which, as my understanding, is a mod that shows you builds like this, which you save in schematics. In your actual survival world, you can actually just copy and paste exactly. It's like the middle button, you press it and proceed to keep switching over to the block required. I'm not into that idea. My idea has been strictly using things like Axiom in this case to build these wonderful buildings that I'm doing with this massive city, this metropolis, as it is. And in doing so, I have quickly learned with Axiom a lot of things that I haven't known before. One of the biggest things is how it can actually help me expand my building capabilities. I can quickly swap out block palettes, I can switch out building placements, and in doing so just get all these large and sometimes simplistic, such as this one was simplistic, builds in mind that do usually take hours trying to figure out what you're going to do, because usually you don't get it right, you don't get the shape proper, there's certain mistakes you make, and it's helped a lot. So, current plan, though not exactly set in stone, for next episode, I'm wanting to currently get this curve set for the actual sidewalk set in, as it's supposed to be placed for the actual buildings. I need a little bit extra width here, so you can actually walk around. Because around here, this is a corner shop, a flower shop, that's going to actually branch over here and back to the other line of buildings here. Now, what the building's going to be for, I have no idea. I'm still working on that. But at the moment, I ran out of builds, and this is really what I wanted. And it just has a sense of scale, in my opinion. So, I've just been... I keep going in creative mode for the creative version of this world, trying to set these builds and plan them out. And I've been just walking through, and you look up, and you can see the sense of scale. Like, you can see the smoke, but you can't see exactly where it's coming from. That being said, it's a fairly tall building, though it's not very wide overall in any direction, and it takes you going back a great distance to be able to even tell where the chimney is. The big problem I've been having when it comes down to making certain build like this is trying to use color palettes and other blocks I normally wouldn't use. Like when it comes down to granite, I would use that a lot. I haven't really ever fiddled with the mud blocks until here, which is perfectly fine, as I'm evolving as it is. But I had never used like any of the terracotta variants, any of the mangrove variants. I haven't really touched upon that much, any different stained glass colors, which I'm using primarily in this case, that of the gray stained glass. I've used very briefly the mossy stone types, and with the introduction of the shelves here, it's been really good for accenting. So overall, I've been actually falling in love with that, along with the fact that I haven't been using copper enough for all of its variants, and here I have. Now, I just noticed I did forget to do something in particular. With this, I was supposed to do one thing else. And this is the problem when you're talking about mass building and then getting things set. I forgot to place down a bunch of fence gates and fence posts up top. Let me see. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. Get some more of these. And I'm going to use plenty of these anyways, other places, so it's not going to matter that I'm using a bunch now. But over here, I was supposed to actually place down a line of these. Let's see. Like this. Like I've been doing with some other places. Which, it's fine that I missed it. I've been liking the entire open texture here. Just adding a little bit of depth. But I've been building for several hours. I've been building for several hours here. I've been getting a bunch of resources. I've been working over there with the resin farm, which is producing enough. Just, I can make it fast if I wanted to, but it's producing enough. Yeah, with that little touch up there, it's fixed and finished. With this, all we have to do is collect a bunch of rare flower types. As I've gotten a few flower types I'd like to put down here, one of which being the new flower from the Pale Garden. I forget the name of it. But with that in mind, I want to eventually get a sniffer and start putting some rare flowers and maybe some small drip leaves. That would be nice. But that's going to end the episode here. Thank you for watching this episode of Minecraft. As I've been playing for a good while, this has been Wires and Wonders for several episodes now, and I don't know how many days I'm actually in. But I pop here real quick. I can go video control, go extra, let me see, where is, not render, extra, let me see, days, can I see the days? No, I'm not going to be able to see that here. Okay then. Oh well, I can just go into here, right? No, wrong button. Let me see. Okay, I have no idea when the hell my days are. Whatever, I'll deal with that later. So this has been very fun and whatnot. But thank you for watching this episode of Wires and Wonders. Like, comment, subscribe if you wish to. Let me know of any game you'd like to see me play, and hope to see you in another video. So goodbye.